Well, hello, it's Chris Mahan with Chris Mahan Consulting. Glad to have you back. We're talking about 10 strategies to help your business thrive, even in tough economic times. In our last session, we talked about generating more leads. We looked in particular at using the marketing equation in all of your marketing and advertising, and also establishing joint venture partnerships. Remember, the marketing equation consisted of 4 components: the interrupt, the engage, the education portion, and then the offer. The interrupt is how you grab the attention of your prospects. There's so much noise going on that most people just tune out all marketing and advertising. So you need to do something that is going to interrupt them, to break their attention, to get their attention. I mentioned that oftentimes that's going to be the headline in your printed marketing or advertising, or it's going to be the first thing that you say if it's a radio ad or a television ad, or even in something like your elevator speech. I told you that one of the ways that I like to look at it is the interrupt focuses on the problem that your prospects have, but they don't want. And then you follow that up with the engage, because once you interrupt them, you've got their attention, but you're only going to have it for a few seconds unless you engage them. And so the engage is the sub heading in a printed ad. It's the next thing that you say if it's a verbal ad of any type. And again, as I mentioned, the way that I like to look at this is the engage is where you are telling them of the solution they want, but they don't have. During the educational component of the marketing equation, that's where you're showing them that you can deliver on the solution that you're promising, even using examples to show the prospect that you have worked with people who are like them, who have had the very same problem, who have implemented your solution and enjoyed the results of it. And then finally, there's the offer. And we talked about how to make an offer that moves your prospect to some form of action. And so in a way, we're going to be following up on the offers portion, because we're going to be talking about compelling offers. Compelling offers are ways that you are going to be able to convert those leads into paying customers. So, and then JV partnership, just again to review that's where your partners refer customers to you and you refer customers to them. You make more revenue because of the new customers that come to you from those referrals, and you also make additional income because you are going to get paid a revenue share agreement based on the customers that you refer to those other businesses who end up spending money with them. Now, obviously, getting more leads is a great start to increasing your revenue. But today we're going to look at the next component that I believe makes up the 20% of things that you do as a business owner that's responsible for bringing in 80% of your revenue. And that component is increasing your conversion rate. Now, before we get into this discussion, I have to ask you a very simple question. Do you know what your conversion rate is? Do you know how many leads come into your business that you are actually able to convert into paying customers? That's your conversion rate. Let me share a real quick formula that you can use to figure out your conversion rate if you don't already know that. Your conversion rate is very simply this. It's your number of transactions divided by your number of leads multiplied by 100. So let's say, for example, you have 1,000 leads. That 1,000 leads leads to 250 transactions. So according to the formula, that's 250 divided by 1,000 equals 0.25. Multiply that by 100 and you get your conversion rate of 25%. Very simple formula, but very important. So in this session, we're going to look at 3 strategies that you can begin to use today in your business that will increase your conversion rate and result in greater revenue, greater profits. So hope you have a pen and paper, or you're ready with your computer keyboard to take some notes, because you're going to be getting some very practical things that you can begin to implement today so that you can see more profits in your business and you can thrive even in these tough economic times. So without further introduction, here we go. All right, so the first of our three strategies is to develop a compelling offer. Having a compelling offer is the foundation of a successful marketing campaign. If you get this right, many of the other things that have to do with marketing will simply fall into place. Now, a compelling offer is a powerful offer that is irresistible. It's something that so excites your prospects that they rush to your place of business, or they hurry up to pick up their phones, or better yet, to open up their wallets. A compelling offer is one that causes your potential customers to think, I'd be crazy not to take them up on this. So now these offers typically appeal to your prospects' emotions. It addresses something they desire, and it usually creates some sense of urgency. In fact, the more dramatic, unbelievable, and valuable the offer is, the more dramatic and unbelievable the response will be. Now, of course, you must be able to deliver whatever it is you are offering. Don't make the mistake of offering something that's unbelievable that you can't deliver. You want it to be unbelievable, but still deliverable. Too much advertising focuses on the business doing the advertising. Now, you might remember we talked about this in our first session, how most advertising looks pretty similar. Remember, we looked at this ad for a make-believe florist, Brattle Square Florist. This is a make-believe ad. It's an actual florist somewhere, but it's a make-believe ad. And you'll remember, we talked about this. They have their business name in bold font, center in big letters. The ad's full of platitudes, things that kind of make the prospect go, duh, well, I'd hope so. Usually involves a weak call to action, sometimes nothing more than a phone number. But you don't want your advertising to look like this, like everybody else's, that focuses on you, the business, instead of on the customer. You want your advertising to focus on the customer and the perceived value and benefits they receive from buying your products or services. So, what makes a powerful offer? Well, first of all, it's one that makes most people respond and take action. It makes people respond and take action. One of the things is it usually communicates a sense of urgency or a sense of scarcity. I mean, how many times have you seen those commercials where they say, call within the next 10 minutes and we'll double your offer? Or think of something like Amazon Prime Day, where you have 24 hours to take advantage of some incredible deals. Or you hear someone say, we only have 25 of these available, so buy now before they're all gone, creating a sense of scarcity and a sense of urgency. And what that does is it creates what we've called FOMO, fear of missing out. So first of all, a compelling offer is one that creates a sense of scarcity and urgency. Second, a compelling offer is something that offers great value. Great value that is perceived by the customer as being valuable, not something necessarily that you as the business thinks is valuable. When I lived in Northern Indiana, there used to be a car dealership there that every year they had what they called their catch-up sale. In Indiana, car dealers had to pay inventory tax, and so they wanted to clear their lots off as much as they could before they had to pay that tax. And so this one dealer had what they called their catch-up sale. In other words, they made their projections for sales. That's what they based their purchasing inventory on. And oftentimes their actual sales did not meet their projections. And so they had this catch-up sale, an opportunity where their actual sales could catch up with their projected sales. Well, here somebody thought up this clever idea that in order to draw people in during this catch-up sale, they would give you a case of ketchup, you know, the kind that you put on your burgers and fries. They give you a case of ketchup with the purchase of every vehicle. If I'm in the market for a new car, a case of ketchup isn't going to do anything for me. I don't see that as valuable at all. So if you're going to offer something, make sure that it's of value to your prospects, not just something that you think is valuable or you think is clever. It's got to be valuable to them. Third, a powerful offer is going to take the prospect's needs and wants into consideration. It's designed to communicate how what you do, what product you provide, what service you provide, how it is going to meet their needs or their wants. Fourth, a powerful offer makes sense to the prospect. The context surrounding the offer is believable. Again, I go back to this example of the ketchup sale. I'm sorry, it does not make any sense to me. I mean, I see the cleverness of it, but in practicality, it doesn't make any sense for a car dealership to be giving away a case of ketchup with the purchase of a new vehicle. Sorry, that's just me, maybe. Fifth, your compelling offer has to use wording that is easy to read and understand. For example, don't use percentages. Use terms like half off or 2 for 1 instead of saying 50% off. You say 50% off and people have to calculate in their mind. What does that mean? Or when they read it, it's not quite as easy to understand as half off. So use wording that's easy to read and understand. Sixth, don't water down your offer with some kind of catch. No requirements, no fine print. I mean, how many times have you been watching advertisements on TV and they get to the end of the advertisement and suddenly the announcer is talking so fast that there's no way you can keep up with what they're saying? Or worse yet, at the bottom of the screen, and typically it's in white print that does not stand out from the background of the picture, there is some kind of fine print there that is only up there for just a couple of seconds, absolutely no way that you have an opportunity to read it and understand it while it's up there. So don't water down your offer with some kind of catch, no fine print. Seventh, a compelling offer seems logical. There needs to be a logical reason behind what you're offering. You may be offering a special sale because it's a holiday, it's the end of a season, it's an anniversary celebration, or it's a new launch for a product or service. And then finally, eighth is a compelling offer provides some kind of a premium. It offers something extra to the customer, like a free gift or a free product or a free service. It makes them feel like they're getting something extra at no cost. Now, here are 4 questions you can use to help determine how compelling your offer will appear to your prospects. First, does your offer make it clear to the prospect what you are offering them? Again, they need to understand what's involved in this offer. What are they going to get? Second, does it answer their question, what's in it for me? Third, does it provide a reason for the prospect to believe you? And fourth, does it clearly state how much the prospect will have to pay for it? So, giving you a little exercise to do right now to help you create your powerful offer. I want you to begin by picking a single product or a single service at a time. By doing this, this will help you to keep your offer clear, simple, and easy to understand. So pick a single product or service. Now, it could be an area of your business that you want to expand. For instance, let's say you are a carpet cleaning company and you've decided to start offering a special pet stain removal service. So your compelling offer may focus on that new service, the pet stain removal. It could be a product that you need to get off your shelves. Maybe it's because you are bringing in, again, it could be the end of a season and you need to bring in new seasonal material. So you want to get rid of the old season stuff. It might be that you have products on your shelf that are getting close to their expiration date. It may be that you just want to create room for a new product that you're going to bring into your store. Whatever it is, pick that single product, that one service at a time. Second, decide exactly what you want your customers to do. What is this offer intended to accomplish? What is the objective? Is it to generate more leads? Remember, we talked about this when we discussed the marketing equation and how a low risk offer in your ad will encourage more people to respond and opt in to your offer in order to get that free gift. Is it perhaps to quickly sell a product off your shelf? Then you're going to have an offer that is going to move people to actually come to your physical location, to your place of business to buy it. Is the objective to make them visit your website, to sign up for your newsletter, to join your social media page? You need to decide exactly what you want your prospects to do as a result of this offer. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to dream up the biggest, best offer ever. At this point, don't concern yourself with cost. Don't concern yourself with the ability even to fulfill this at this point. At this point in the process, I just want you to dream big. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to come up with something that is truly, truly outstanding. And don't feel that you need to limit yourself to a single type of offer. You might want to combine several types of offers in order to increase the value. Now, as you're thinking about it, you want to make sure that you're offering a premium, something of value. You probably want to offer a guarantee, again, so that you can lower the risk that your prospects are taking here. And then after you've come up with this incredible out of this world offer, now's the time to make certain that it's realistic. Run the numbers. Make certain that when you fulfill this offer, you're left with some profit. You don't want to publicize an outrageous offer that will generate a lot of customers, but leave you broke. That doesn't accomplish anything. No, but as you think about when you're running the numbers, I want you to keep in mind the lifetime value of your customer. Remember, we talked about that in a previous session. Keep that in mind. I mean, if a prospect who takes you up on this offer becomes a loyal customer, you can afford to break even or even lose a little bit on this first offer. You know you can lose just a little bit on this first sale, knowing that over the course of their lifetime, this customer will be spending a significant amount of money with you, and those subsequent purchases could provide you with a healthy profit. So there it is, our first strategy for increasing your conversion rate: developing a compelling offer, something that is going to make your prospects jump out of their seat, get in their car, run down to your place of business so that they can take advantage of it. Or they're going to immediately click the button on their online, wherever it is they're buying online, and get out their credit card and put it in and buy that from you. It's something that motivates them to move, and to move now. A compelling offer that causes your prospects to respond. Next, we're going to be talking about risk reversal. Talked about it a little bit before, but we're going to go into it just a little bit more in depth. All right, so the second strategy that we're going to talk about is risk reversal. Now, any business owner will close more sales by eliminating the perception of risk their prospects might feel when they buy from them. Now, in developing your risk reversal strategy, it requires you to identify the various reasons a potential prospect or a potential customer might be hesitant to buy. And then you have to come up with ideas how to overcome those reasons. So risk reversal is it's like a guarantee, but it's so much more powerful. You see, it's a guarantee that a buyer can't turn away from because they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So allow me to share 6 levels of guarantees or risk reversal strategies. Now, the first level is what most of us think of when we think of a guarantee. It's called the standard guarantee. It typically offers a buyer a 30-day return period. If they return their product or service in 30 days or less, they receive a full refund. Now, this isn't very exciting to your buyers because, for one, it's usually required by law here in the US. And second, because it's the law, all of your competitors are offering it as well, which means that it does not make you stand out from them. And keep in mind, what we're trying to do here is to make your business unique, make your business stand out, give you a market dominating position. So that's the first level, standard guarantee. The second level guarantee is known as an extended time period guarantee. It typically extends the 30-day guarantee to 90 days or more. Now, this type of guarantee actually lowers the refund rate for most businesses. You see, in many cases, 30 days to try out a product just isn't enough for some consumers. Take, for example, someone who buys an expensive set of cookware from an online store. Delivery takes maybe 10 days from the time they order it until the time that it's actually delivered. That leaves the customer 20 days to try out the product. Now, let's say they happen to be really busy, and so they don't have the time to try it out. And suddenly they realize there are only 2 days left in the return window, and they've never even taken it out of the box. So rather than risk finding out they don't like the cookware after the guarantee period, they go ahead and return it without ever giving it a try. So by extending the return window to 90 days, the customer has more time to try out the product on more than one occasion, and they're satisfied with it and they keep it. So if you are selling products online, having an extended time period guarantee could help increase your sales and lower your return rate. Now, these first two levels of guarantees are somewhat standard. Everybody's offering them in some form or another. So again, they're not going to overly impress your customers. Instead, your guarantees need to be from one of these other four levels. The third level is what we might call the try then buy guarantee. This allows the customer to try out a product or service for maybe 30 days before having to pay. So they pay nothing, or maybe you can have them pay a small token amount like $1, just so that you can get your credit card information to protect you, so that if they end up keeping the product for 30 days, you already have their credit card number on file, you can charge them. So they either pay nothing or a small token up front. And then they know that at the end of the 30-day period, unless they return the product or cancel the service, they're going to be billed. This kind of guarantee is also called forced continuity, the try before you buy guarantee. Level 4 is guaranteed results or a full refund. Now, you guarantee that certain results you guarantee that certain results are going to be achieved within a set time period. And if the result isn't achieved, you provide a full refund. Now, this kind of guarantee requires you to have full confidence in your product or your service. You know that it's going to achieve the results that you promote. But it also helps you close sales, because what you're doing is you're painting a positive picture in the mind of your customer of what this product can do for them. Think about a weight loss program. We guarantee that you will lose 12 pounds in the next 30 days by using this product. And if it doesn't happen, then you get a full refund. It helps the customer to picture themselves losing that amount of weight within that set amount of time. Now, to make this guarantee even more powerful, you might call it something like the pay if only it works guarantee. That's a level 4 guarantee. The level 5 guarantee is the customer always wins guarantee. This requires you to provide some kind of bonus in addition to the main product or service that you're offering. This allows the customer to return the product or cancel the service and receive a full refund, but they also get to keep the bonus gift. So let's say you are selling lighting fixtures, and your offer is that for every order of $50 or more, you're going to include a bonus gift of an energy efficient light bulb that retails for $10. Now, that bulb probably only costs you around $3 wholesale, but the customer perceives its value at its retail cost of $10. So the customer can try out the lighting fixture for 30, 60 days, whatever. And if they aren't totally satisfied, they return it for a full refund, but they get to keep the bulb. They feel like they've at least received something for their time and energy that they've invested in visiting your store. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, won't people take advantage of me if I make this kind of an offer? Well, the answer is, yeah, probably yes. But you will find that very few actually do. Some businesses have found that less than 0.5% of their customers attempt to take advantage of this situation. Now, besides, the money you lose to those few unethical customers, in this example, $3, will be eclipsed by the additional income that's generated by this kind of guarantee. However, just to be on the safe side, you can always test your guarantee for a short period of time. Keep track of your returns. If the policy is abused, drop it. If the policy works, then implement it on a more permanent basis. And then there's the level 6 guarantee. This is the platinum guarantee. Double your money back. Now, friends, this requires absolute confidence in your product or service. Now, this type of guarantee is so powerful because it removes all the risk from the buyer. Now, I'm going to close out this section with another example. Several years ago, our national economy was in shambles, and it affected most every type of business. And one of the hardest hit was the auto industry. GM had just received a major bailout from the government, but due to the economy, sales were still tanking and GM was in serious trouble. And part of the problem was that consumers were worried so much about the economy, they were concerned that they might lose their jobs. And so their fear was buying a new car, taking on new debt, then losing their jobs and being stuck with this debt. So GM execs examined the issue, and when they tried to pinpoint the greatest pain point of their prospective customers, that's what they realized. Customers were afraid to make that commitment because they thought, if we lose our jobs, we're going to get stuck with this debt. Our car is going to get repossessed. We're going to be out of the money that we paid. I mean, it was a real big risk to make that kind of purchase. So GM adopted this risk reversal policy. They said, buy a new GM car or truck, and if you were laid off from your job for any reason, we will make your car payments for you for 1 year. Now that, my friends, is an audacious risk reversal policy. But as you know, it helped GM weather the storm. So how do you develop such a bold risk reversal policy for your business, one that will increase your conversion rate? Well, you begin, like GM did, by identifying the biggest fears, problems, frustrations, or concerns your prospects have when it comes to buying what you sell. And then you can determine, what can you offer that would completely eliminate whatever those concerns are. When you remove the risk from buying your product or service, you will see your sales soar. So that is the second strategy for this session, risk reversal. Our next one, we'll be talking about downselling. So the third and final strategy that we're going to look at for increasing your conversion rate is a concept known as downselling, something you're probably very familiar with, but let's talk about that because downselling is a simple alternative. It's an alternative to the primary purchase in order to decrease the overall transaction price. So let's say that your product is house paint. You carry and promote a premium brand of paint that costs in the neighborhood of $30 a gallon. Now, a customer who has a home painting project comes into your store to check out your selection. You know that they're interested in and definitely in the market for paint. You know that they're going to make a purchase somewhere. but they feel the $30 price tag is too high. So they're ready to walk out your door without making a purchase. Instead of letting them leave, you offer them a brand of paint that carries a smaller price tag than your premium paint. Instead of a paint that's $30 a gallon, you offer them a brand that is $22 a gallon. That's more in their price range, so they make the purchase. That is a downsell. Now, why would you ever want to decrease the overall transaction price, you may be asking? Well, if that prospect walks out the door without making a purchase, your profit is exactly zero. But if they buy a lower price product, you won't make as much money as you would have if they had bought your premium product, but you would have made some profit, which is always better than nothing. And perhaps more important, you've started a relationship with that customer. Because they found it easy to work with you, they'll be more likely to come back and do business with you again. So even though your profit from this initial sale isn't as great as what you would like, the lifetime value of that customer will likely more than make up for it. So let's think of some examples of downselling. How can you implement the strategy of downselling in your business? You might want to offer a smaller quantity package of your products or services. You might offer a lower quality item. You might offer a stripped down version of your current offering that contains fewer bells and whistles. In some cases, you may even offer a special purchase opportunity to first-time buyers. Several years ago, I took my family down to Pigeon Forge. It was a few weeks before their season actually kicked in. I hadn't made a hotel reservation in advance, so I pulled into a hotel. I went into the front desk to ask about their rate. Now, it was more than I wanted to pay at the time, so as I turned to walk out, the manager asked me if I had ever stayed with them before, to which I honestly replied I had not. And so he said, well, as a first-time guest, I can offer you a 50% discount on the room. And I accepted. Now, he had just made a sale because he offered me a downsell. This is a powerful, powerful tool, especially useful in our current economy. Customers, again, are getting to the point where they are spending cautiously during these uncertain times. Many are having to stick with predetermined budgets due to rising interest rates and prices. So by offering them a more basic and affordable product in place of your premium product, you make it easier for them to say yes in the buying decision. Now, I do want to give you a caution. If you go too cheap, you risk killing your profit margin and possibly diluting your brand. So do your research, crunch the numbers to figure out how much you can sell your product or service for and still make a decent profit. Do you remember what happened to Martha Stewart and her line of products? She developed a low-end Martha Stewart everyday line of housewares. Those items were sold in low-end box stores like Kmart. Well, what she discovered was, even though she was making some sales to people who couldn't afford her high-quality line, the low-quality line was tarnishing her brand, and it was affecting the profits from her high-quality line. Donald Mazzella, who at the time was COO of Information Strategies, said, which was a small business consultancy, he made this observation. He said, Martha Stewart has never been able to go back up to her premium since Kmart. She is a commodity now. So make sure that if you're doing downsells, you're not doing something that is going to tarnish your brand. Now, downselling can be amazingly simple. Look for ways to repurpose the same products or service you're already offering in order to create a lower priced item. Now, I've already given you one caution, but I do want to talk to you about two possible downsides to downselling. First of all, they have the potential to be annoying. If you've ever been a customer and you've decided not to buy, You know that it can be annoying to be delayed by a salesperson who starts to make you yet another offer. And it might even come across as desperation. So you need to be able to read your prospects. And if they even hint at being annoyed, don't delay them any longer. Stop the downsell. Thank them for their time. Ask them to keep you in mind if they change their mind or if there is something else that you might be able to assist them with. Create goodwill. Don't alienate them by coming across as desperate or annoying. An even better response an even better response is to make the downsell something the prospect truly values while making the transaction itself as painless as possible. Now, the second possible pitfall is that it has the potential to encourage bad buying behavior on the part of your customers. If a customer comes to believe they will always receive a better offer from you when you just say no at first, then they will always say no. For instance, I don't know about you, but many times, if I am looking at an offer online, I will almost always say no. Because I know that when I go to click off that page, I'm going to get a pop-up ad that says, wait, how about if we offer this to you at a 20% discount or a 30% discount or a 50% discount? I've noticed that with online sales, many times if you say no to start with, you'll end up getting a better deal. Now, it's great for me as a consumer, not so great for me as a business owner. So make sure that you're not encouraging bad buying behavior through your downsell strategy. If you feel that's what's happening, there are at least two options for you. First, you can stop offering downsells to that particular client or customer. I mean, if you've identified who it is who is always coming and trying to negotiate a lower price with you, just stop negotiating. Keep in mind that that approach may result in lost sales, but maybe that's a customer that you don't need. Maybe they're not within the 20% of your customers who are responsible for the 80% of your revenue. So, first of all, you might just stop offering downsells to those particular customers. Second, if you've identified clients or customers who always hold out for the better deal, then maybe you can make your first premium offer one that makes your regular offer look like the best deal. Go back to the painting example, for instance. Let's say you focus on selling a paint that sells for $30, but you have customers who always hold out for that $20 bargain brand. So instead of starting out the transaction by offering them the $30 brand, begin by offering them the $40 brand. And then if you have to downsell, you offer them the $30 brand. You see how that works? Now, here's another caution for you. Don't introduce a downsell too early. It may be you simply may need to work through some objections to get your prospect to buy your product or service. The right time to offer a downsell is when you are fairly certain the client isn't going to buy what you are currently offering and they are ready to walk out the door. Now, I want to end this section of downsells by sharing this idea. This is a concept I kind of want you to get a hold of. I want you to view downsells as found money. It's money you wouldn't have received if the customer had said no and walked out the door. For example, let's revisit our friend, the florist. So the florist sells a dozen roses in an arrangement for $50. But they have customers who come in just about every day who think that they want to buy roses for their sweetheart, but they have no idea how much they cost. And when they're told that they're $50, they decide against it. So what if, as they said, no, that's a bit more than I was hoping to spend. What if the florist were to offer them another very nice arrangement of flowers, that weren't as expensive as roses. Say an arrangement that cost $25. Now, if that happened just 4 times a week, where a customer was going to walk out the door spending nothing because they couldn't afford the $50 for the roses, but the florist made the sale for the less expensive $25 arrangement, that would be an additional $100 a week or $5,200 for the year. That's $5,200 more that they have than they would not have had they not used this strategy of downselling. So, how do you convert your leads into paying customers? I've shared 3 strategies with you that have the potential to begin to significantly increase your revenue. We talked about creating compelling offers. I don't know why I keep saying officers instead of offers. Excuse me. We've talked about creating compelling offers. Maybe I'm thinking of compelling officers who are the ones who pull me over when I'm speeding. And through giving me a ticket, they're definitely compelling me to slow down. I don't know. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Anyhow, we've talked about creating compelling offers. We've talked about risk reversal, and we've talked about downselling. Now, which strategy are you going to begin to implement in your business this week? That's right. I'm asking you, what strategy are you going to implement this week? Remember, knowledge without application is useless. So don't just take notes over these strategies, close your notebook, and then go along doing the same things that you've always done. Start now to make those small incremental changes in your business that can help you generate significantly more revenue and profits. Now, I would ask this of you. When you implement some of these strategies and you begin to see the additional income rolling in, send me a quick email and let me know. I'd love to celebrate your success right along with you. My address is chris-mahan.com. Excuse me, that's my web address. My email address is so different. It's chris@chris-mahan.com. chris@chris-mahan.com. Send me a quick email. Let me know. I would love to celebrate your success right along with you. Now, in our next session, we're going to look at some surefire ways to increase the number of times customers do business with you. They aren't hard to implement, but you are going to find they can have major impact on your bottom line. So until then, this is Chris Mahan of Chris Mahan Consulting, ready to help you find ways to add $10,000, $25,000, $50,000, or even more to your annual profits in 12 months or less. I'll see you next time.